the Federal Republic. Welcome, Mr. President. Shall we please rise for the national anthem? Thank you so very much. You may please be seated.
Good afternoon, Nigerians. It's indeed a great pleasure to have you join us on the Chief of Army Staff Annual Conference with the theme, Personnel Motivation for Effective Operational Performance in a Joint Environment. The program is expected to commence from today, 10th December, and last till 16th December 2023. The week-long conference can be described as an important annual event in the calendar of the Nigerian Army due to its significance to national security, peace, and stability. This epoch-making event was designed to offer the Nigerian Army an avenue to take stock, evaluate, and comprehensively review ongoing operational engagements of the Nigerian Army in all theaters of operations across the 6 geopolitical zones within the year, among other key aspects. This program is being transmitted to you live on the largest television network in Africa, the NTA, and of course from the Command Guest House in Maiduguri, the Borno State capital.
Distinguished Senator Ali Ndume and other distinguished senators who are here seated this afternoon, the Speaker, House of Representatives, Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, ably represented by Honorable Chairman, House Committee on Defense, Honorable Babajibi Benson, and other honorable members who are here present at this event, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, very suitably represented by Permanent Secretary, Special Services Office, Alhaji Aliyu Shehu Shinkafi, our host governor, a very dear one at that, the Executive Governor of Borno State, His Excellency Professor Babagana Umar Azulum, member of the National Institute, a distinguished fellow, Nigerian Society of Engineers, the executive governors of Adamawa, Bauchi, and Taraba states, His Excellency Right Honorable Ahmadu Umaru Fintiri, Senator Bala Abdul Qadri Muhammad, and His Excellency Agbu Kefas, respectively, the Deputy Governor of Gombe State, His Excellency Dr. Manasa Daniel Jatou, and the representative of the Governor of Yobe State, Honorable Abdullahi Bello, who is also the Honorable Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, the Honorable Minister of Defense, Mohammed Badaru Abubakar, Commander Order of the Niger, Member National Institute, the National Security Advisor, Malam Nuhu Ribadu, the Chief of Defense Staff, General C.G. Musa, Officer of the Order of the Federal Republic, our Chief Host, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General T.A. Lagbaja Nigerian Army Medal, the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral E.I. Ogala, Admiralty Medal, the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal H.B. Abubakar, Distinguished Flying Star, the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, very suitably represented by Assistant Inspector General of Police Zone 15, Abdul Umar, the Chief of Defense Intelligence, Your Royal Highness, the Shehu of Borno, Dr. Abubakar Ibn Umar Garbai, here very suitably represented by Lieutenant Commander Kiari Aji Sudan, retired, Zana Dashima of Borno, members of the Borno State Executive Council who are here present this afternoon, other heads of security, paramilitary, law enforcement and response agencies here seated, former chiefs of defense and chiefs of army staff here present, President, Nigerian Army Officers' Wives Association, Mrs. Maria Abiodun Lagbaja, and other distinguished members of that prestigious association, captains of industry, principal staff officers from defense and the services headquarters, Force Commander, Multinational Joint Task Force, Theater Commander, Joint Task Force, Northeast, Operation Hadinkai, commandants of Tri-Service and Nigerian Army training institutions, Corps commanders, general officers commanding, and other formation commanders, heads of defense and Nigerian Army establishments who are here present today, senior officers both serving and retired, distinguished invited guests, our own very dear regimental sergeant majors, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General T.A. Lagbaja, Nigerian Army Medal, I have the very special honor and privilege to most warmly and heartily welcome our highly esteemed special guest of honor, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Grand Commander of the Federal Republic, other highly revered personalities who are here today, distinguished participants, to Major General MSA Aliyu Hall, Command Guest House, Maiduguri, Borno State, venue for this all-important event, speaking about the Chief of Army Staff Annual Conference 2023. I am Brigadier General Onyema Nwachukwu, Director, Army Public Relations, your Master of Ceremonies for this very significant event. With me, ladies and gentlemen, we have Lieutenant Colonel Jajira, also of the Directorate of Army Public Relations. Please rise up for recognition. Together, we shall all be taking you through the program of events as it unfolds. Your Excellency, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, permit me to inform this graceful gathering that a medical aid post is situated at the gatehouse outside this hall, where you can access immediate medical attention should the need arise. Thank you in anticipation of your compliance. The special guest of honor, sir, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, much as the organizing committee has taken appropriate steps to ensure your security during this conference, it is equally expedient to reinforce these security measures with a safety brief in the unlikely event of an emergency in this venue. May I therefore at this juncture request that we take a few minutes for the safety brief. The safety brief, please.
Welcome to Major General MSA Aliyu Hall at the Command Guest House, Maiduguri. Venue for the Chief of Army Staff Annual Conference 2023. Before providing you with the safety instructions, permit me to orient you with this venue. The conference venue is located along Baga Road, close to Mai Malari Barracks in Maiduguri, the Borno State capital. We are presently in the main hall of the event venue. There are 6 emergency exits in the hall, 2 on the right side of the hall, tagged Exit A and Exit B, as well as 2 on the left side of the hall, tagged Exit C and Exit D. 1 directly opposite the high table, tagged Exit E, while 1 is directly behind the high table, tagged Exit F. The high table is situated at the front of the hall. There are 2 major aisles in the hall running perpendicularly. There are 10 rows of seats, each to the left and right of the vertical aisle. The secretariat is located at the left-hand side of the hall. Tea breaks and refreshment for the special guest of honor, Chief of Army Staff, and some invited dignitaries will be served inside the Command Guest House restaurant. Similarly, tea breaks and refreshments for other invited dignitaries and major generals, as well as for brigadier generals and below, will be served in the recreational marquees situated on the left-hand side as you enter the Command Guest House gate. The restrooms for your convenience are located at the rear of the conference hall, beside the Command Guest House main building. The muster point is located in front of the car park of the conference hall. Armed guards are stationed at strategic positions to provide security for this event. There is also an emergency gate at the back of the Command Guest House main building. Kindly acquaint yourselves accordingly. In the unlikely event of an emergency, please do not panic. Kindly adhere to the following instructions. Those on the high table and those seated on the right of the vertical aisle in an orderly manner should exit the hall through the doors tagged Exit A and Exit B on the right side of the hall, as well as Exit F behind the high table onto the muster point. The persons seated to the left of the vertical aisle and those at the secretariat are to move in an orderly manner through the exit doors tagged Exit C and Exit D on the left side of the hall, as well as Exit E directly opposite the high table to the muster point. Physically challenged persons should be assisted by those seated next to them to evacuate the building. In the event of power outage during emergency, the exits marked in reflective material will help guide you to the nearest exit point and onto the designated muster point. Should you forget any item, please do not go back into the building. Also, participants are please advised to take advantage of the health tips leaflet enclosed in the conference folder. Your safety is our priority. Thanks for your attention, and please remain safe. This message is from the Department of Army Standards and Evaluation.
Thank you so much, technical crew. Your Excellency, that was a safety brief to consolidate the security arrangements already put in place in the unlikely event of any emergency in this venue. The special guest of honor, sir, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, having observed the safety brief, please permit me to inform this graceful gathering that the highlights of today's activities is as contained on page 9 of the already circulated program of events in your possession. Having said that, it is now my honor and privilege to most reverently invite our chief host, the Chief of Naval Staff, I beg your pardon, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taurid Abiodun Lagbaja Nigerian Army Medal, to please deliver his welcome address. The Chief of Army Staff, sir. Distraction from these idiots.
the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Grand Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic, the Senate President, distinguished Senator Godswill Akpabio, Commander of the Order of the Niger, ably represented here by the Chairman Senate Committee on Army, distinguished Senator Ali Ndume, and other distinguished senators here with us, the Speaker, House of Representatives, Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, represented by the Chairman House Committee on Defense, Honorable Babajimi Benson, and other honorables here with us, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, Commander of the Order of the Niger, ably represented by the Permanent Secretary, Special Services Office, our host Governor, the Executive Governor of Borno State, His Excellency Professor Babagana Umara Zulum, Member National Institute, Distinguished Fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, the Executive Governors of Adamawa and Taraba States, His Excellency Right Honorable Ahmadu Umaru Fintiri, and His Excellency Agbu Kefas, the representatives of the governors of Gombe and Yobe states, the Honorable Minister of Defense, Muhammadu Badaru Abubakar, Commander of the Order of the Niger, Member National Institute, please permit me to stand on the already well-established protocols. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, before I deliver my welcome address, permit me to request this August gathering at this one of the most significant Nigerian Army activities for the year to kindly rise and join me and the entire Nigerian Army to observe a minute silence once again, remorsefully, in honor of our fellow citizens who died in the unfortunate Nigerian Army drone strike about a week ago on the 3rd of December. May their gentle souls rest in peace. Thank you, and you may please have your seats. On behalf of the officers and soldiers of the Nigerian Army, I'm highly delighted and honored to extend a warm and respectful welcome to Mr. President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Grand Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic, and all other distinguished guests present here today. I express the Nigerian Army's deep gratitude to you for finding time to grace this auspicious occasion, the opening ceremony of the Chief of Army Staff Annual Conference 2023. This conference is very significant as it is the first annual gathering of the Nigerian Army since the commencement of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration and my assumption of office as the Chief of Army Staff. The Chief of Army Staff Annual Conference serves as a crucial platform where the leadership of the Nigerian Army comes together to discuss critical policies that will shape the future of our esteemed institution. It provides an opportunity to review our past achievements, assess current challenges, and strategize for the future, all within the broader context of national security. Under the astute leadership of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, our nation is steadfastly addressing a wide range of security challenges across the 6 geopolitical zones. Consequently, the theme for this year's annual conference, personnel motivation for effective operational performance in a joint environment, was carefully chosen to underscore the vital importance of uplifting and empowering our personnel for enhanced performance by focusing on personnel morale, well-being, and professional development. Our goal is to bolster the capability and readiness of our force while nurturing a culture of excellence and unwavering dedication. This year's annual conference theme aligns with Mr. Directive to address all security challenges facing the country decisively. It also reflects my commitment to transform the Nigerian Army into a well-trained, equipped, and highly motivated force towards achieving our constitutional responsibilities within a joint environment. This command philosophy, underpinned by 6 core principles of character, commitment, competence, courage, communication, and compassion, has shaped our organizational culture since I assumed command of the Nigerian Army in June this year. I deliberately trust to function within the stipulations of this philosophy made the year 2023 remarkable in terms of our operational endeavors as we performed our constitutional roles. At this point, I would like to outline some significant achievements of the Nigerian Army in the year 2023 briefly. The Nigerian Army escalated its efforts in combating terrorism and banditry through operations Adenkai and Forest Sanity, particularly in the Northeast and Northwest regions, significantly weakening criminal elements. Additionally, Nigerian Army troops deployed in ongoing operations such as Operation Adarin Daji, Wild Stroke, Wild Punch, Delta Save, and Udoka, amongst others, have effectively checkmated farmers' herders' crisis, oil thieves, pipeline vandals, and secessionists in the Northwest, North Central, South-South, and Southeast regions of the country. Notwithstanding these achievements, we recognize the importance of continuously evaluating our efforts. This conference will be instrumental in formulating long-term strategies to bolster our ability to fulfill our constitutional responsibilities in the year 2024. In terms of training, special initiatives were implemented through the year to enhance troops' readiness through mission-focused training. Training exercises like exercise Restore Hope 5, which is an advanced infantry training conducted in collaboration with our international partners, have continued to refine the troops' skills in weapon handling and tactics. Furthermore, the operational effectiveness of formations and units has improved consistently through routine training activities such as exercise Still Waters 3, Enduring Peace, and Golden Dawn. Exercise Mugumbugu was also launched as an operation to combat insurgency, banditry, and other crimes in the north-central zone of our nation. These exercises, typically conducted in the last quarter of the year in the South-South, Southwest, North-Central, and Southeast regions, aim to train troops to address the various forms of criminal activities prevalent during the festive season. Similarly, Operation Clean Sweep was initiated on 10 October this year at Ikeja Cantonment, Lagos, to clear unexploded ordnances at the site of the 2002 bomb blast. The operation was concluded on 6 December this year. It is worth noting that the operation successfully recovered and disposed over 2,000 unexploded ordnances. In the year under review, we made progress in enhancing the provision of accommodation and other essential infrastructure for our personnel. Notably, several new accommodations have been completed and formally commissioned, while existing facilities have undergone extensive renovation across multiple barracks nationwide. This concerted effort has reduced our personnel's pressing need for suitable living quarters and helped modernize infrastructure to enhance operational effectiveness. Furthermore, a comprehensive action plan has been formulated to address the Nigerian Army's accommodation challenges over the next 5 years. This demonstrates Army Headquarters' commitment to systematically improve our troops' living and working conditions. On the issue of personnel emolument, the Army Headquarters, with the support of the government, has continued to bolster troops' morale by paying salaries and allowances promptly and consistently. Additionally, new welfare packages, such as access to soft loans to support the well-being of our soldiers, and free welfare flights for troops in the Northeast to ease their travels during leave and passes, are also being sustained. Furthermore, the Nigerian Army has successfully disbursed the first batch of payments to the beneficiaries of the Nigerian Army Personnel Accident Insurance Scheme. This further underscores our sustained efforts to prioritize the welfare of our troops and their families. It is evident that the Nigerian Army made remarkable progress throughout the year, as clearly demonstrated by the aforementioned accomplishments. These successes are a testament to the unwavering support of Mr. President, Commander-in-Chief, the National Assembly, and boards of sister services, other security agencies, and prominent Nigerians. Please permit me to particularly express the Nigerian Army's profound gratitude to Mr. President for complementing our welfare efforts by approving the payment of over 18 million naira in backlog of group life assurance claims to families of deceased personnel, demonstrating his commitment to the well-being of the families of our fallen heroes. As we embark on this crucial conference, it is imperative to reiterate that our primary focus remains the preservation of our nation's territorial integrity, safeguarding lives and properties of our citizens, and upholding the principles of justice and equity. We will continue strengthening our operational capabilities, enhancing intelligence gathering, fostering interagency cooperation, and prioritizing the welfare of our personnel. Our commitment to professionalism, discipline, and respect for human rights will remain the firm pillars of all our endeavors. At this juncture, permit me to commend the Chief of Policy and Plans Army and the Conference Organizing Committee and subcommittees for their dedication and meticulous planning. To all the participants in this conference, senior military officers, both serving and retired, our esteemed guests, I encourage you to actively engage in robust discussions and provide insightful suggestions that will shape strategies and policies of the Nigerian Army to guarantee a stronger and more secure Nigeria. Your wealth of knowledge and experience will undoubtedly contribute to our collective effort to transform the Nigerian Army and, by extension, improve our nation's security. On this note, I want to once again welcome Mr. President and other dignitaries to this opening ceremony of the Chief of Army Staff Annual Conference 2023. I extend our heartfelt gratitude for your presence and unwavering support, and reiterate our commitment to overcoming existing and future challenges to our beloved country on the path of greater peace, progress, and prosperity. The Nigerian Army remains committed to sustaining constitutional democracy in Nigeria and across our shores. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, thank you for honoring us with your esteemed presence, and God bless you all.
Thank you so much, Chief of Army Staff, sir, for those very kind words, very encouraging words, and of course bringing to limelight the support of the federal government to the Nigerian Army. May I call for another round of applause for him, please. Your Excellency, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, with the welcome address by the Chief of Army Staff, the stage is now set for the Honorable Minister of Defense, Mohammed Badru Abubakar, Commander Order of the Niger, to please give his remarks. The Honorable Minister of Defense, sir. Please let's welcome him with a round of applause. Thank
you. Your Excellency, the special guest of honor, President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, the Senate President, distinguished Senator Godswill Akpabio, CON, ably represented by distinguished Senator Ali Ndume, the Honorable Speaker, House of Representatives, Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, ably represented by my chairman, the Chairman House Committee on Defense, Honorable Babajimi Benson, and other honorable members, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator Jeja Kume, represented by the Permanent Secretary, Special Service, Alhaji Aliyu Shehu Shinkafi, my brother, the host governor, Your Excellency, Governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana Omar Zulum, MNI, FNSE, Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Adamawa State, my brother, Governor Amadou Marufintri, also Your Excellency, Governor Agbu Kefas, the Governor of Taraba State, the Deputy Governors of Borno State and Yobe State, and the representative of the Governor of Gombe State, the service chiefs, the National Security Advisor, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, permit me to stand on the well-established protocol. It gives me great pleasure to once again welcome Mr. President to the Chief of Army Staff Annual Conference 2023. The conference is an avenue to assess the preparedness and operational readiness of the Nigerian Army in the discharge of its constitutional roles. I'm optimistic that the deliberations during this conference will generate new strategies and enhancing peace and stability in our country. It will also assist in charting a better course for the Nigerian Army in the coming year. Let me congratulate the Nigerian Army for the critical role it plays to safeguard peace and security in our country. This is supported by the visionary leadership and the direction of our dear President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Nigeria. In line with the Ministry of Defense core mandate of maintaining men and women of the Nigerian Armed Forces in the state of combat readiness on land, sea, and air, I want to passionately appreciate the most sincerely thank Mr. President for his quick interventions in approving all our needs of critical equipments and platforms for the armed forces of Nigeria. The enormous effort of the armed forces, and particularly the Nigerian Army, in curtailing insecurity to its barest minimum in the troubled areas across the country is recognized. Those successes have been achieved through dedication and sacrifice by the gallant men and women of the Army, for which many have paid the supreme price. Permit me to use this opportunity to commiserate with the armed forces and families of those personnel who have paid the supreme price in the cause of keeping our country safe. I implore the service chief to ensure that those wounded in actions are given the best medical attention. I assure you that the federal government will continue to support the families of those who paid the supreme price, as well as wounded personnel. I am bold to say that due to the doggedness of the officers and soldiers of the armed forces, particularly the Nigerian Army, peace is gradually being restored to all troubled areas in the country. I therefore implore you all to continue the good work of permanently ending all forms of insecurity to our country. At this point, I once again appreciate the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Nigeria for his support at all times and for his giving us the right team, the very team that we have on the ground for the CDS and the service chiefs are the best ever in cooperation and in readiness. The President has guided us, the President has inspired us, and his presence today has boosted our morale. Mr. President, our morale is high. We are ready to fight. We will get them. We will end insecurity in the nearest future. We will do it. I have seen it in my men. And we will succeed. And we will win. Because of your heart, because of your mind, because of your dedication in the progress and development of this country. We know what you stand for. We know what you always told us. We know how you guide us. We know your patriotism. And that patriotism and that guidance will lead us to succeed. And it's enshrined in all of us, in all the choices you make, and we will not fail you. We will continue to do our best until we end this thing, and this team is determined to do just that. Our morale is very, very high. On this note, I wish you all successful Chief of Army Staff Annual Conference. I thank you all.
Thank you so very much, Honorable Minister of Defense, Mohammed Badaru Abubakar, Commander of the Niger, for those words of encouragement. Our morale will remain very high in Nigeria. Please let's put our hands together. The special guest of honor, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's now time for us to listen to a goodwill message from His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana Umara Zulum, Member National Institute, Distinguished Fellow, Nigerian Society of Engineers. Please let's welcome him with a round of applause.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Your Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Alhaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Your Excellency, the Representative of the President of the Senate, in the person of Senator Mohammed Adindume. My colleague, the Governors of Adama and that of Taraba. Your Excellency, the former Governor of Jigawa State, who is also the Minister of Defense, former Governor of Borno State, Deputy Governors here present, the National Security Advisor, Service Chief, Special Advisor to the President on Media, Senate Committee Chairman on Army and that of House of Representatives here present, the former service chiefs that are here, members of the National Assembly, members of the Borno State House of Assembly, Secretary of State Government, members of the State Executive Council, Army officers, distinguished invited guests, good afternoon. Sorry, I saw a making remark. I don't know how it became a goodwill message. Notwithstanding, I'll present my remark. I stand before you with great honor at the 2023 Chief of Army Staff Conference here in Maiduguri, the capital city of Borno State. I extend my sincere gratitude for the opportunity to address this distinguished gathering and commend the Nigerian Army for selecting Maiduguri as the venue of this crucial conference. A warm welcome to His Excellency, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. Your presence underscores the significance of this event, particularly considering the historical and strategic importance of Borno State in the fight against the Boko Haram insurgency. I appreciate the Nigerian Army's annual commitment to hosting this conference, and I especially value the decision to hold this year's event in Maiduguri. This choice comes at a pivotal moment, aligning with the progress made by the Nigerian Armed Forces in the counter-insurgency drive. We find ourselves at a crucial juncture in our efforts to implement the Borno Restoration Plan, aiming to end the decade-long humanitarian disaster caused by the Boko Haram insurgency, while we remember and honor the families of our fallen heroes who sacrificed their lives for the nation's integrity and the safety of law-abiding citizens. I acknowledge the effectiveness of the kinetic approach employed by the Nigerian Armed Forces. This approach has significantly weakened the insurgents, leading to the defection of many Boko Haram followers. I urge the Chief of Army Staff in deliberations with the general officers commanding GOCs, commanders, and other senior officers to maintain a cordial working relationship between the Nigerian Army, other security agencies, and the Borno State government. Such a collaborative effort will not only enhance our common objective of defeating the minds and souls of insurgents, but also offer useful insights to complement each other's effort in fulfilling our respective constitutional responsibilities. In the next 3 years of my administration, inshallah, I plan to build on the gains recorded in security to achieve medium and long-term development plan. The Borno State Restoration Plan encapsulates a comprehensive strategy aimed at rebuilding and revitalizing post-insurgency Borno by providing infrastructure, social services, and security. As a way forward in enhancing the operational capabilities of our security forces, I would like to appeal to His Excellency, Mr. President, to help us construct more roads in the state. Accessibility is key to winning the war against terrorists, insurgency in our region, because of the vastness of the area and the remoteness of our communities from each other. It is also necessary that I should put another relevant request to Your Excellency, Mr. President, to establish military bases in Sambisa Forest, Mandara Hills, and the shores of Lake Chad in order to secure these areas and reclaim this once and for all from the remnants of Boko Haram insurgency. I'm deeply passionate about Borno Restoration Plan and have unwavering confidence in President Tinubu's commitment to elevating Nigeria to greater height. With this conviction, I earnestly urge President Tinubu to prioritize substantial investment in military technology and equipment. This strategic move is crucial in enhancing Nigeria's military capabilities, securing our territorial integrity, and pursuing regional power and economic interest. Your Excellency, sir, I'm pleased to bring to your kind notice that the entire Ministry of Defense and the military hierarchy were in Maiduguri fortnight ago. We have had extensive consultation and have seen from them the commitment, courage, and determination, zeal, and above all, the political will to address security challenges, not only in the northeastern region, but in the country at large, and therefore I commend them for their foresight. While commending the efforts of the Nigerian Army, I wish to bring to your kind notice that the only way to sustain security and stability in the northeast region is to ensure continued military operation. And therefore, I urge you to continue with the military operations on a sustainable basis. Your Excellency, sir, on my part, I want to assure you that my humble self, my team, and indeed the electorates of Borno State will be committed, dedicated, and above all 100% loyal to your administration's vision of renewed hope agenda with a view to repositioning Nigeria to a greater height. Your Excellency, Mr. President, I would like to conclude by once again welcoming you on behalf of my colleagues, the governors here, to Borno State, as a special guest of honor and all our dignitaries to our state, and to wish the Chief of Army Staff and his counterparts in the other services happy and fruitful deliberations during this conference week. Thank you, and may this conference contribute significantly to our ongoing efforts. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for those wonderful remarks. Please, may I call for another round of applause for His Excellency. The special guest of honor, highly esteemed invited guests, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the Nigerian Army to express her profound appreciation to the special guest of honor for finding time, despite his very busy schedule, to grace this event with his esteemed presence. To perform this significant function, Your Excellency, may I once again respectfully invite the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General T.A. Labaja, to please present souvenirs to the special guest of honor. Chief of Army Staff, sir.
It is worthy to note that the Chief of Army Staff Annual Conference is expected to provide the Nigerian Army an in-depth insight to make far-reaching decisions that will be result-oriented towards achieving its set objective of addressing multifaceted security challenges.
Sound 1 2.
Thank you, Chief of Army Staff, sir, for doing us that honor of expressing our appreciation to the special guest of honor, President, Commander of the Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The special guest of honor, sir, highly esteemed invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. That was the presentation of souvenir to the special guest of honor for his esteemed presence at this all-important event. At this juncture, to further deepen our appreciation, may I invite the Chief of Policy and Plans Army, Major General A.B. Ibrahim, to please deliver a vote of thanks on behalf of officers and soldiers of the Nigerian Army. The Chief of Policy and Plans, sir.
Your Excellency, our special guest of honor, President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Grand Commander of the Federal Republic, the representatives of the Senate President and other distinguished senators here present, the representatives of the Speaker, House of Representatives, and other honorable members here present, the representative of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, our host, the Executive Governor of Borno State, His Excellency Professor Babagana Zulum, Ebenai, Your Excellencies, the Executive Governors of Adamawa and Taraba State, and the representatives of the Governors of Gombe and Yobe State. The Honorable Minister of Defense, the National Security Advisor, the Chief of Defense Staff, our host, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General T.A. Lagbaja, Nigerian Army Medal, Chiefs of the Naval and Air Staff, representative of the Inspector General of Police, representative of Your Royal Highness, the Shehu of Borno, members of the Borno State Executive Council, heads of other security agencies here present, former chiefs of defense and chiefs of army staff here present, President, Nigerian Army Officers' Wives Association, Regimental Sergeant Major, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency, permit me to stand on the already well-established protocol. My vote of thanks. I am highly privileged to stand here on behalf of the Chief of Army Staff and indeed the Nigerian Army community to express our profound appreciation, particularly to our special guest of honor, other special guests and everyone present here, for honoring us with your presence at the opening ceremony of the Chief of Army Staff Annual Conference 2023. I wish to start by thanking the Almighty God who made it possible for all of us to attend the opening ceremony of the Chief of Army Staff Conference 2023 here in Maiduguri. I would like to start by registering our deep sense of gratitude to the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Grand Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic, for gracing this occasion as a special guest of honor. Your presence here today, sir, is a testimony of the tremendous support you are giving to the Armed Forces of Nigeria through your strategic guidance. We are also grateful for the attendance of the distinguished members of the National Assembly here present. We particularly appreciate your collective efforts of providing the necessary support to the Nigerian Army through your various budget approvals and oversight functions. Your constructive approach to issues of national security have provided an enabling environment and impacted positively on our activities. Our gratitude also goes to our chief host, the Executive Governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana Zulum. We acknowledge and appreciate your unflinching support to the Nigerian Army in your state. Your unwavering support has continued to assist the Nigerian Army to improve the general security situation in the Northeast region, especially in the fight against insurgency and other forms of criminality. I wish to also appreciate members of the Federal Executive Council and Police Affairs, the National Security Advisor, the Chief of the Defense Staff, and other service chiefs for gracing this event. Your untiring effort to improve national security are highly appreciated. To the Inspector General of Police and all heads of security agencies, we sincerely thank you not only for your presence, but for your continuous cooperation with the Nigerian Army towards attainment of our national security objectives. I wish to also deeply appreciate our highly respected former service chiefs and retired senior officers here present with us today for your continued support and mentorship. Even in retirement, you have continued to demonstrate keen interest in our well-being, and we shall continue to tap from your wealth of experience. Our profound gratitude also goes to our royal father. Your presence had made this event colorful, and we shall continue to rely on your fatherly support. Let me at this juncture appreciate our spouses and all members of our families under the leadership of the President of the Nigerian Army Officers' Wives Association. We are indeed grateful for your love and understanding. Before I conclude, I would like to extend our appreciation to the distinguished dignitaries and members of the press. We appreciate you for being with us on this memorable day. Finally, it is my prayer that God Almighty will grant all of us journey mercies as we return to our various respective destinations. Once again, to everyone, thank you very much for coming, and God bless you, sir.
Thank you, Chief of Policy and Plans Army, Major General A.B. Ibrahim, for that vote of thanks, and of course for expressing our gratitude to the special guest of honor and our highly esteemed guests who are here present to grace this event today. Thank you so much. A round of applause for him, please. The special guest of honor, highly esteemed guests, it's now time to have the opportunity and privilege of listening to the address of the special guest of honor, President Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Grand Commander, Order of the Federal Republic. May I respectfully request the Chief of Army Staff to please invite the special guest of honor. Chief of Army Staff, sir.
Thank you. Please be seated. Please. The Senate President, distinguished Senator Godswill Akpabio, CON, represented by Chairman Senate Committee on Army, distinguished Senator Aliu Jume, my mechanic trainee, the Speaker of House of Representatives, Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, ably represented by Chairman House Committee on Defense, Babajimi Benson and others. Other honorable members, other distinguished senators here present. Please, to members of my entourage, I cited a mentor that I have not seen since the beginning of my administration. a committed individual who had served Nigeria meritoriously. Allow me to give him Alani Akiniade. It is a very pleasant joy to see you. He has led a struggle for this democracy, both in uniform and outside uniform. Maybe I'll go back there. Thank you for your presence. It's very inspiring. Members of my entourage, the NSA, the Chief of Army, the Minister for Defense, and many of you, you've inspired me in many ways. But again, let me point out one thing here: the wives of our servicemen. Thank you very, very much. It's a big tolerance and perseverance from you that kept us going. You have done well, keeping the home front together. God bless you and bless your siblings. To many of you in the team, Chief of Defense Staff, CG Musa, whoever, the chief host who persuaded me by all means necessary General Taurid Lagbaja. Well, I'm here, I'm happy, I hope you are. The members of that team, including Vice Admiral E. Ogada, Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Abubakar, Inspector General of Police, all of you, you demonstrated a great spirit of teamship and showing leadership that is expected of the people of this country. I salute you. Your Royal Highness Borno, thank you for being a great father and inspirator. Members of the Borno State Executive, all members of the House of Assembly, all of you, former Chief of Defense and Army staff here present, President Nigerian Army Officer's wife, Association Maria Abiodun Lagbaja, and members of the association, all of you together. The captains of industry, principal staff officers from the defense and service headquarters. If I rest my protocol here, you should, without mentioning the Theater Joint Task Force, not its operation. I won't do justice to my presence. So, I say thank you for those of you who have been in the task force and who put this event together. As President and Commander-in-Chief of Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, it is a great honor for me and profound joy to join you today for the opening ceremony of the Chief of Army Staff Annual Conference 2023. The conference has become a firm and valuable tradition, symbolizing the Nigerian Army's unyielding devotion to our national security, as well as to your pursuit of excellence, both as individuals and as an institution established to defend our beloved country and our people. It provides a constructive platform to enable you to draw lessons from operations and training exercises of the past in order to refine your activities so that you may better protect our nation from serious threats, whether external or domestic. The task before you is compelling as it is vital, more so than any other institution of government. The fate of our beloved nation rests in the hand of our armed forces. For too many years, Nigeria has faced dangerous, shadowy enemies whose sole aim is to overturn our democratic and peaceful way of life. Despite their efforts, we hold dear to the vision of a nation stronger yet more just, prosperous yet compassionate, dynamic yet tolerant and inclusive. However, those who contend against us do so with a completely different objective. They seek to violently subdue Nigeria and bury our democratic and progressive aspirations. It's not possible. When you are there, you are winning. Whether we call them terrorists, bandits, kidnappers, or armed robbers, they all ruthlessly strive to aggrandize power, money, and followers in the sinister motive of recasting our society in their unlawful, destructive image. They seek to turn our national house into a bleak one, too crowded by oppression and wanting violence to allow adequate space for democracy, justice, peace, and development. But I assure you, the hope is here. This is the battle you all face, and we are facing it with you. It is a battle I have no intention of losing. As your commander-in-chief, my paramount duty is to provide you with the ways and means to conduct this battle in accordance with the best of our military traditions and the value of the humane and just society we seek to preserve. A heavy responsibility upon my shoulder as your commander-in-chief. If I ask you to go forth and put yourselves in the arm's way, I do this not because I want to. I do this because that is what is required of all of us, making sacrifices for our nation and believing in Nigeria. And I thank you for what you have been doing. I am deeply moved by your devotion to service and the sacrifices you and others in uniform have made for the defense of our nation. And this is a nation we hold very dear, because we have no other one. Just one nation, Nigeria. Let me say something about the tragic loss of civilian life in Kaduna. This was a compound tragedy as a nation. We weep at the passing of precious men and women, children, and those of us entrusted with the nation's security. It is severely painful to see harm befalling those whom we have sworn to protect. Such incidents must be thoroughly investigated. Future occurrence must be prevented. I wish we could somehow take this all back and erase the harm done. But we cannot. It has happened. What we can and we do is to give ourselves the victory over the terrorists. Is the best gift. Yes, money, compensation, whatever is necessary, we will do. But it doesn't compensate. It doesn't replace the loved one lost. But your victory strongly, the peace returning to the country, and economic development being assured, prosperity returning to her, to all of you and myself, it means more than giving financial relief. It requires that those of us here give more of ourselves for the safety and security of Nigerian people. As your Commander-in-Chief, I exhort you to continue the path that we have chosen to protect our beloved nation. For us, there is no greater duty. Neither be discouraged nor lose heart. The fate of our entire nation is in your hand. I heard Minister of Defense saying that our morale is high. I heard somebody shout, Marie, and response say, hi. We will continue that spirit, commitment, and sacrifices. Nigeria will give our happiness back, reward us with joy, and our children and grandchildren will take the fruit from the seed that you are sowing. Those who attempt to break our society will not succeed. We are going to become industrious again. As a primary cornerstone of our nation's defense, the Army deserves the unyielding support of my administration in the discharge of its constitutional duty to protect the territorial integrity of this country. So, I will do. That's my oath. I want you to know that I am also a firm believer in Chief of Army Staff's philosophy of transforming the Nigerian Army into a well-trained, equipped, and highly motivated force capable of achieving its constitutional responsibilities within a joint environment. Thank you, well done. During this conference, I urge you to apply this philosophy to the actual challenges we face on the ground by focusing your fast insight and intelligent discussion, your inquisitiveness, your ability as great Nigerian soldiers. How we can better protect the Nigerian people from unconventional threats confronting our nation. In this regard, my administration is wedded to the Army's ongoing modernization process. We'll do it. We must enhance your mobility and communications while adding greater precision to the offensive striking capability of our military and other security forces. The recent procurement of new aircraft is a testament to this result. We will equip you. We commend the successes of the Nigerian Army in the various operations in the battle against banditry, terrorism, and sundry crimes. The feedback I received from various theaters of operation has been encouraging. So lift your spirit. Why I'm here, that is just that. Why I am present here today. You have started giving us positive results. Nothing should inspire you or give you a setback. The professional conduct you demonstrated during election in Bayelsa, Imo, Kogi states underscores your role as a guardian of our constitutional order and democracy precepts. In this regard, the Nigerian Army must remain completely non-partisan but vigilantly pro-democracy. We also note with great satisfaction the many civilian projects across the country, some of which will be commissioned during this conference. This project not only brings the military and civilian population into closer affinity and mutual understanding, they also serve the practical purpose of tangibly improving the living condition of the people. It means you are nobody's enemy. I thank you for the improved condition with other branches of the military and security services. To you leaders, I know Chief of Army Staff and his team and others will talk, but all of you have the responsibility to demonstrate great character in uniform, to show that Nigeria is different. What happened in Adamawa is unacceptable. You have points of report, points where you can ventilate your anger, but to mount a destructive retaliation against the police is not acceptable to any of us, the leaders. Please, let it end in the final mistake. We will note with great satisfaction your projects across the country. I thank you for the improved condition. Accordingly, I consider the theme of this year's conference, personnel motivation for effective operational performance in a joint environment. That's teamship. And that's together we succeed. That's positive attitude towards a team. Very motivating and ready to go. You earn my respect and applause for that. As I conclude, I want to reiterate our nation's appreciation for your service and sacrifice. We will forever be indebted to those officers and soldiers who have paid the ultimate price in the service of our country. Our government will continue to stand by the families of these fallen heroes. In this light, as mentioned by Chief of Army Staff, request for approval of 18 billion naira has been given. Other areas we are looking into it. We will provide better amenities and benefits program for the loved ones as you have placed your lives on the line to safeguard the nation. It must be a grateful nation. The nation must care for you adequately for the general needs of your families. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on this note of respect, recognition, and patriotic duty, I formally declare open the Chief of Army Annual Conference 2023 and wish you a very productive and successful period and deliberations. Thank you. May God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thank you so very much, the special guest of honor, President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria, for those very encouraging words for troops of the Nigerian Army. May I call for a resounding applause for the special guest of honor, please.
President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who is also the special guest of honor in this occasion, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, there, reassuring the Nigerian Army of his administration's unwavering commitment to give soldiers all the support they need to succeed in defending the territorial integrity of the country. The opening session of the program will feature a address to troops of Joint Task Force Northeast Operation Hadin Kai, inspection of ongoing Nigerian Army Reference Hospital Maiduguri, and laying of the foundation stone of headquarters and division of the Nigerian Army by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, among other critical activities. Now, on behalf of the Outside Broadcast crew, I am Abubakar Musa, inviting you to rejoin the special